Hello and welcome to the Sunday Night Championship full race highlights. This week we are in the Circuit of the Americas in America, and we have with us Ben, expert and analyst.
Yes, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Sure is going to be an interesting race, a championship possibly deciding race for Gaza and the Williams. We will see shortly.
Yep, Gunnar Gamble is the challenger there. Gonna have to pull out all the stops to pull the championship onto the next race. What are your thoughts going into this race, Ben?
Well, it's still up for grabs. Dean has a realistic chance. Amari's absent from the race in the Toro Rosso, so it really is all down to Dean to try and keep the championship alive.
Yep. So after a tough, well fought qualifying session, let's have a look at the race results.
You mean the qualifying results?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, sure. So on pole, as he has been a couple of times, I would have said this is his fourth pole of the season, in fact, for Indrek in the Force India, 1:39.6, just pipping the championship favourite Gaza in the Williams. Third, Lodestar in the Mercedes. Fourth, and a good effort for Rob. That's one of his best qualifyings of the season in the in the Infinity Red Bull. Fifth, and a little bit further back than he'd hoped to be, and a little bit off the pace of 0.6, is Gunnar Gamble in the Ferrari. Sixth for Benalesi in the other Red Bull. Seventh for Six in the other Ferrari. He's going to hope to help his teammate out if he can. Eighth for Lancer Racer in the other Mercedes. And ninth for Wegster in the Toro Rosso.
Yeah, Ferrari also trying to catch up to Williams in the constructors, so they need every possible point to try and close the gap.
Yeah, sure. Williams have been pulling away lately at some pace. Obviously, Gaz has been the man to beat this season with 4 wins. Dean has 2, Amari has 3, and Martin with the 3 wins also. So this could be a pivotal race.
Yep. So as we join drivers on the track as pole sitter Indrek leaves the garage. We have Indrek on pole, Lodestar sitting directly behind, with Red Bull with Rob Noxious, Ferrari Gunnar Gamble, Benalesi, Seeks, and Lance Racer. They're our onboard cameras for this race, and as everyone gets ready for the start of the Circuit of the Americas USA Grand Prix, and the lights are out and away they go. And Lodestar on the pad should be getting a bit of a better start, and yes he does, as Indrek closes the door on Gaza on the inside. Lodestar looks around the outside. Oh, Indrek's had to come across him. Was there a bit of contact there maybe? But Indrek and Lodestar dropped a handful of places there. Gunnar Gamble managing to squeeze past Lodestar and into the S's. Oh, Lodestar goes across the track and contact into the wall, both of them. And looks like there wasn't really any damage done to either car, but they dropped to the back of the track, back of the pack, both of them. As the action carries on with Six, who's up to 5th now from 7th on the grid, I think he was, tucked in behind Indrek, who made a bit of a pig zero that last bit of the first sector. And Six can have a look down the inside, the only one who started in primes actually, so doesn't really need to fight Indrek too much, but thinks better of it going down to the long straight, and Lance Racer is just behind him.
Yeah, an incredibly stupid bit of driving there by Martin so early in the race to just come back onto the track like that. But Six now up the inside of Indrek. Indrek seems to be struggling again in these early stages. A bit of a pattern with Indrek. He'll qualify well, but also struggle to keep the race pace up.
Yeah, as we go to the replay, and we're on board with Benalesi, who gets off the wheel pretty well actually. He closes up on Rob Noxious and gets the back alongside of Gunnar Gamble on his outside, but goes left and wow, just picks everyone off. And
Yeah,
up to
great
second.
start.
Yeah.
Just seemed to find a space on the inside when everyone seemed to go right, which I don't really understand because the corner goes left. Yeah, but there's a bit of a traffic jam into the first corner, cars bouncing off each other, as expected at a tight hairpin at the first corner. This is Dean's view of what happened with Martin, and I would suspect that he's not even going to know he's there, to be honest. He's taking the line, and yeah, that's a ridiculous bit of driving there by Martin in the Mercedes. It wouldn't be the first time this season. It's surely not the last.
Yeah. Oh, Seek's almost running into the back of Gunnar Gamble at the start there, but goes around the outside. And judging by that, it looks like Indrek obviously got a knock from someone on the inside, probably Gaza, which ultimately forced Lodestar out wide as well.
Yeah, you can see here that Martin's completely off the track, comes back on without any sort of idea of where the other drivers are, and drew it straight into the side of the championship contender, Dean.
Yeah, but we're back to the live now with Indreksen as we go through the S's. We've got Seeks just in front and Wegstar doing well behind in 6th place. Oh, Seeks runs wide, and that should allow Indrek to catch up again. Seeks has got look like a very oversteer car there, stepping out.
Indrek seems to be struggling the balance of his as well, especially in the braking areas. Back end seems a little bit lively. But yep, he's right behind Seeks now. He should have the DRS, I believe.
No, it's only lap 2.
That's only available at the end of this lap. But he's close enough to still have a go. He's turned the revs up to have a go. He's turned them down now. He's not quite sure he can pull this off. But no, he's gone for it. Look at that, straight down the inside.
Good move. Although Seeks is having a look down the inside again, can he get it back? Giving him room. That's good racing, both of them. Wheel-to-wheel action at his best there, as Indrek tries to defend again, and Seeks is not quite getting the traction out of the corner on his prime tyres, and Indrek holds the position, although we're on board with Seeks now and looks like he gets a much better run through this right-hander. As Indrek, bit of oversteer there, I think just touched the AstroTurf and almost takes Seeks out and rejoining the track, but still fighting both of them. Seeks just holds the position there.
Great bit of driving by both there, wheel to wheel racing, but a little bit of rubbing, but nothing that you wouldn't expect. Great bit of driving. Now Indrek's actually back up the inside again. He's not giving this up.
But ultimately, this is allowing the front three to pull away massively. Seeks has a look around the outside, going into the S's, backs out quite wisely as Indrek overshoots it, and they're both making mistakes now. Wegster's probably closing in on this battle as well. Seeks cuts the corner quite a bit there. Yeah, good racing.
Yeah, Wegster's ever improving pace is threatening to join this battle. It's getting faster as the seasons go on, up into P6 from P9 on the grid. Of course, there was the accidents at the start, but this is all good news for Gaza in his championship quest, though he has got the Red Bulls latched onto him. Yeah,
all that. The Ferrari of Seeks, who is on primes, probably doesn't actually need to battle Indrek as hard as he is, being on a different strategy. But Indrek just doesn't seem to have the pace to pull away or even catch the guys in front.
No, I think that's a fair comment. He's, like I said, from what we've seen on the onboards already, does seem to be struggling with grip in these early stages. He was the pole man, he should really be up the front battling, but he does seem to be struggling to hold the pace at this stage.
Well, as we skip to lap 3 now, and we've got Lodestar just behind his teammate Lance Racer. As we come to the DRS straight, he hasn't looked down the inside. He's going to get the DRS anyway, but he's made the move stick as well, so even better for Lodestar as Gunnar Gamble's tucked up right behind him now, although he doesn't get the DRS on Lance.
No, the DRS line obviously a fair bit before the hairpin corner. Lance and Lodestar obviously holding each other up there before allowing Dean to get within a second, but it was too late for the DRS by the looks of it. Yeah. Dean just desperately needs to get past these guys now. He needs to pick people off as fast as he can.
Yeah, the home hero Lance isn't having his strongest race of the season. Looks like he's struggling if anything, and he runs wide there, and that gives Dean the place easily.
Yeah, Dean will enjoy that. That's nice and easy for him.
Yeah, as we join the battle at the front with Gaza and Ben Lacey. As they drop down the hill at turn 1. through the sweeping right-hander at turn 2 into the Maggots and Beckett's section, as you will, as Ben is purple in first sector and closes the gap to 0.4 of a second to Gaz, Ben should now get the DRS, you would have thought.
Yeah, the line's down here, so he can stay within a second. He will get the DRS, and he's going to be Ferrari's best friend at the moment if he can pull off a move on Gaza. It's close enough, I believe. He's kept the revs on full, so he's definitely looking to overtake. There's the line, the DRS is open. Is he pulling him enough? Closing, switch to the lean revs for the middle sector, and he's through. He's through. Gaza's let him go. He can't really afford to battle. He's having a little look around the outside, but Ben is through into the lead.
Yeah, great move. Perfectly under the brakes, and although Gaz is having a little look back, he's not really needed to fight too hard. And Ben locks up a little bit, but holds it on the track nicely and secures the lead of the American Grand Prix.
Yep, he'll be sending a picture home to his mum for this one, because it's rare that you'll see Benalesi lead a race. In fact, any Red Bull this season lead a race. Not had a stellar season, but improving one for Benalesi and Rob anyway. Yeah,
definitely. Red Bull 1 and 3 at the moment. Rob only 2 seconds behind the lead. Gaza uses the DRS into turn 1, and that makes the move, but Benalesi with a better traction out of turn 1 goes back past, but will Gaza hold the inside? No, backs out, probably quite wise as well, as we mentioned a few minutes ago. Not needed to challenge for the lead, or challenge for position.
Yeah, Ben has nothing to lose, whereas Gaza has everything to lose right now, especially with Dean as far down the field as he is right now. Although Dean is setting very good lap times and closing up fast.
Yeah, Gaza, although probably won't know about Gunnar Gamble's accident. He's not near him we'd probably be able to see on the map that he's not near him, so not worrying too much. But Gaza's going to get DRS again and goes to the left. Ben doesn't really fight it yet. Will Gaz hold it? He should do. This calibre of driver is not prone to mistakes. Or neither of the drivers are really, that's why they're at the front. But Gaza retakes the lead again.
If they carry on like this, Rob will catch them, and then it'll be a freeway fight. I'm sure it's the last thing they both won. Let's see.
Good drive for Rob though, up in P3. And not really dropping back either.
But this looks like it could be the best race of the season so far for him.
Yep. Coming into the last corner, Benalesi will get DRS. Cuts the corner and gets a bit of oversteer. But while that battle's been going on, Lodestar has caught Wegster, and I'm assuming he's going to pass him here. Excellent traction out of the corner, good line, round the outside. Webster can't really do anything about it, even if he does defend.
I don't think he fought that one very hard. He realised that Lodestar's quicker.
Yeah, and then at the end of the start of lap 5, Gunnar Gamble goes past as well, I'm assuming. Webster locks up, runs wide, and looks like Lance Racer also managed to come through as well. So from what was a great start, Webster has dropped back, but keeping up the good start and the good pace at this time of the season.
Meanwhile, the never-ending battle between Indrek and Seats still seems to be going on.
Yeah.
And Indrek really doesn't want him to pass down the inside.
Yeah, goes very defensive. It's probably going to hinder him a bit, actually.
I would say so. There's a contact.
Seeks trying to get traction on the outside, and Lodestar takes 2 easy places there. Couldn't have wished for that. We must have wished for that even. Although the contact between Indrek and Seeks probably could have been avoided with a bit of rubbing, and this is Indrek's view of it.
Yeah, so he's turning into the corner. Everything's fine. Here we go again. Rear traction at its worst at the moment. Actually, a good piece of driving by Martin. Probably was only a good bit of driving in this race so far to go around the outside of both of them. But the contact between Seeks and Indrek was a bit of a racing incident.
Yeah. On Seeks' view, it looked like Indrek turned into him, but clearly on Indrek's view, Seeks turned into him. So probably a bit of lag there, but they both come out of it fine, and no harm done really, apart from the lost position. Obviously, there's Lance Racer, home hero, trying to make a move on Gonna Gamble, as they're both closing in on Indrek.
Yeah, we remember that Dean did get past Lance a few laps ago, but Lance isn't giving this up. Yeah, he's hanging on real well to the back of Dean. But Dean doesn't need this.
Yeah.
He needs to be knocking cars out of the way, so to speak.
Oh.
Indrek in front, completely sideways. Because again, he's still struggling with this car.
Yeah, Indrek losing lots amount of time there. As you can see from Gonna Gamble's view, he's all over the shop and gets through. Going to get the DRS as well. Lance Racer should also be able to follow him through. And indeed he does. Oh, Lance Racer down the inside. Indrek manages to get back through on Lance. Now for the pit stops.
Yep, they're all happening now. Ben's in first, Dean's in as well, and Indrek. But that's not a surprise, he has been struggling.
I think Indrek might have been just trying to hold it out until lap 9.
Yep, Indrek on the options, Ben on the primes, and I believe Dean also on the primes. Ben's come out right into a battle with Lance Racer.
Lance Racer getting through as well.
Yep, Lance Racer hasn't pitted yet. That's why he has just gone past Ben. But Ben will look to get past him as fast as possible because he isn't actually still in the battle for the lead with Gaza.
Yeah. Wegster dropped back to 6 seconds behind Ben Alesi, so probably about 7 behind Lance. But Ben Alesi will definitely get the DRS on Lance Racer. Just a matter of when he get the position back. Sure. Ideally, he wants to get past now, just so he doesn't lose any time in the battle for the lead.
Yep, and he is through, and it's a fairly standard overtake. Although it has gone wide, Lance will look around the outside. Maybe switch back. He's looking for it, but nope. Ben has the place and moves back up into P5. So minimal time lost there. Yeah,
perfect for Ben Alesi as his teammate comes in. Rob Notchurst standing at the pit stop. Yep.
If Ben was held up, we're about to find out because Rob will overtake him. Ben's around the outside, and that is close.
Oh,
close for teammates.
That's as close as you want to get to anyone, let alone your teammate. As Lance Racer is trying to make it past Rob Notchurst as well, although he backs out into the S's, as he's probably going to be pitting soon. Doesn't really want to lose too much time defending.
Yeah, the Red Bull insurance claim would have been a nightmare there for two cars colliding with each other.
Yeah, the Black Turkey back in 2010, I think it was.
Yeah, I believe it was.
Yeah.
But no, they're still going. They're going to keep the battle on with Gaza, who strangely still hasn't pitted.
Yeah, doing a very long stint on these options. As Lance Racer will definitely try and make a move. You'd have thought he's tucked right up behind Rob Notchurst at the moment as he opens the DRS.
Rob won't want this.
Trying round the outside. Interesting, but he's still there. Will he keep it? He's got the inside line for the right-hander now. And Rob tries to go around the outside, but gives him room, and Lance Racer is back through. But now he's got to defend. And he does it well. Little tap up the back there from Rob Notchurst, but
Rob has to be careful. Well. If he loses his wing, he'll lose any chance of a podium.
Yeah, definitely. Lance Racer running a bit wide. Maybe his tyres are starting to hit the cliff. As he does dive right into the pits last minute. And
that's cost Rob 2 or 3 seconds, I would say.
Yeah, unfortunately for him. As Lodestar comes in, changes his front wing, so clearly there was a bit of damage at the start of the race, but setting a lot of fastest laps after that though, so he couldn't have been too bad. As we come on board with Seeks at the start of lap 14, and as you can see, Gaza is in the pit lane and doing a 14 lap option stint, pulling the options 14 laps is quite an achievement. He's clearly going for a one stop as Seeks takes the lead for the first time.
Yeah, it's clear. It's clear now that he will be doing all this. Do 14 laps on options. He can do 14 laps on primes very easily. So now it's down to the Red Bulls to really go for it and to pull a gap.
Yeah, as we join on lap 15 on board with Ben Alesi, who's got the DRS on 6. 6 still yet to pit after because it started on primes. As Ben Alesi goes down the inside, brakes, and overshoots it a little bit, and 6 gets a nice undercut there.
Yeah, a bit too adventurous. Left it a bit too late on the brakes, but surely he needs to get past.
Yeah, you can see that in the attempt, that was quite a desperate attempt, knowing that if he can't get past 6, he's going to be held up too much.
Yep.
We're on board with Rob Noxious on lap 16. Lance Racer has lost connection. And the home driver has disconnected. It's a shame, he's doing well, but Gazza looking around the outside. Rob defending well, but going a bit wide. Gazza trying to come back on the exit. Oh, nice dummy there, nice dummy.
Yeah, nice little switch back there. That's a great move. Gazza's driving like a champion today.
Yeah, back up to P3. And although Ben Alesi is in front of him, he has actually made a bit of a gap, it seems, to Gazza. Compared to when Ben went in.
He'll be cursing the back of that Ferrari. He's seen it enough this season, and he doesn't really want to be seeing it much longer. Yeah, he needs to get past for this to be a race, I think.
Yeah, 6 putting up good resilience. As Rob does get the DRS, but probably a bit too far back to challenge Gazza. Ooh, big lock up.
He's maybe trying a new tactic there to ram Gazza, but it didn't work either.
Gazza trying to use some smoke as
a status quo. Meanwhile, Ben's still behind Six, and you wouldn't expect this because Six tyres are very old.
Yeah.
But he's clearly faster through the faster corners.
Yeah.
But possibly the pad's giving Six just enough pace off the tighter corners just to keep him in front. You can see that Six is struggling with his tyres. He's sideways through the bends.
Yeah, only 2 tenths behind, so definitely going to get the DRS.
Yeah, Gaz is really closing in on his battle now behind, right there.
Seeing the mirrors, which Rob Noxious is also going to be right up behind Gazza as well.
Well, this is crucial now for Ben. He needs to get past Six. I hope that Six can hold up.
Six not defending,
so he can get away.
Not really defending, although he keeps it look around the outside. Tries the switch back. Still around the outside as we're on board with 6 now. Not quite. Gazza right up 6's arse though. This is going to be a tense battle. Ben ultra defensive there. 6 trying to look around the outside, but a bit of oversteer on the exit ruins any chance of the switch back. But we can see 6 drifting it through this corner. His tyres are really starting to go off. So he's got to be pitting soon.
I hope that 6 can do the same to Gareth, but it looks like he's pitting in fact.
Yeah.
That worst case scenario for Ben and Red Bull.
Oh, hits the wall on the way in. Thankfully, no damage done. So lap at 18, 6 pits from the lead. Well, pits from P2. As we join the train at the front, 4-way at the front now, 5-way before 6 pitted. But Lodestar managing to catch back up to the leaders as Rob Noxious runs wide. Can Lodestar go round the outside? Optimistic, very optimistic, and he does not make it.
He needs to calm down in these situations. Obviously, he is the faster man. Surely he can just wait to find a way through. And it looks like he's looking down the inside of the hairpin.
Yeah, well, he will get DRS, so shouldn't matter too much.
At least he's overtaken now. It's all done. Oh, no, he's in the barrier.
Oh, both of them. Rob Noxious pretty much stopped in the wall. Lodestar just losing his front wing. And he is retired. Retired from the race, Lodestar. Obviously too much damage for his liking. As we're on board for the replay with Rob now.
This seems like he comes over on Rob. Again, his spatial awareness is completely out of kilter with what's needed in this league. He just does not know when the car is alongside him.
Although that could have been seen as a bit of lag there. But, yeah.
A crucial pit stop. Ben's in on lap 19 for another set of options.
Oh,
now we'll see what he's got.
Oh!
Rob obviously without a front wing there.
A lot slower out of the corner, and Seek's just about avoiding him.
That could have been an aircraft crash, that one.
as I assume this is Ben Lacey coming out the pits on the left hand side. And Six is up to P4, so it looks like he has made the undercut, and by a few seconds as well, as we join Gunnar Gamble. Penalty for a corner cut. That's a bit harsh.
It's really not working out for Dean Ferrari today. Championship looks like it's heading to Williams and Gaza, but yeah, we'll see what Dean can do in this final stint.
Yeah, as Indrexon was also in lap 21. But back to the front, Six and Benalesi. DRS is gone, but on lap 26 it reappears. As we go on to the last lap now, Gaza almost certainly champion, unless by an awful mistake or awful bad luck. But Six about second ahead of Benalesi going through the S's. We know Benalesi is so much quicker through this. Wow. The amount of time he closed up there.
In about half a second through there, I would have thought was one wide there on the apex, but so is Stiggs, and he just managed to basically drift through the corner to get through the next apex.
So, going to be a last chance saloon for Benalesi here. He's got +1 laps of fuel though. He probably could have tried to do that a little bit better and used it more.
Also in the mirrors of Dean, somehow he's got involved in this battle. It was like a really good last stint.
Six goes defensive, no surprise there. Benalesi's going to have to try and go around the outside. Can he stick it? Not quite. Oh, and Six pushes him off the track. And Gunnar Gamble's just behind now. Will he be able to make a move on Benalesi?
He's certainly looking for it. The gap. Ben's defending now that he can't get past Six. He's defending for third place.
And Ferrari trying to make it both drivers on the podium for the first time this season.
Yeah. It's going to be close though. Looks like Ben's got it covered there. He has one wide there, and that's sent him wide into the penultimate corner.
And Gunnar Gamble has a look down the inside. Will he have to pull it off? Last chance. Oh, he's hit his rear wheel. And that is a third penalty. I can only assume the second one was for another corner cut. But
yeah, 3 strikes and you're out, unfortunately, and that's the end of Dean's title chances.
Yes, as we saw Gaza cross the line as well. But this is the replay from Six's view. Turns in, full arc, and well, yeah. It appears that it was like a couple of other incidents we've seen today, with a bit of lag maybe.
Yeah, it looked like it was a bit of a 6-1 effort as the other, but I don't know. It was a close one. It was, like I say, pretty much a repeat of what happened with Indrek earlier in the race.
Yeah.
But good close racing nonetheless.
Definitely. So, after a very entertaining race, we have a new champion. Gaza 1-2-3 in the Williams, winning the race by 9 seconds from Six, who just about managed to hold up the train enough to beat Benalesi. Indrexon promoted to P4 after what for him was probably quite a frustrating race, but for the penalties given to other drivers managed to promote him to P4. Gunnar Gamble unfortunately dropping back to P5, although some of his penalties might have been a bit harsh, but they were still held up, so back to P5. Rob Noxious recovering to P6, and Wegster in a solid P7, showing some much improved race pace this week. Lodestar and Lance Racer, the 2 Mercedes, DNF. Yeah,
congratulations to Gaza, well-deserved championship. I don't think anyone can really deny that he deserves to be champion. Six, best result of the season, equal enough, I believe.
Yep.
Outstanding effort, holding off those cars, not really holding up, but holding off those cars. Ben gets his 5th podium of the season, so he'll be happy with that. Although he'd be slightly disappointed that he couldn't take the fight to Gaza near the end. Like I say, indirect 4th, and again he needs to work on his race pace. His qualifying is without doubt one of his strengths. The race pace isn't there. Dean again 5th, although possibly should have finished 4th, but as you say, some dire penalties there and some real bad luck at the start of the race. It's ruined his championship chances.
So we'll go over to the podium to join the celebrations. as we have a new world champion, Gaza. Cool. So thank you very much everyone for joining us this week. We hope you enjoyed the race highlights, and thank you very much for Ben for joining us.
No problem.
And we'll see you next week for the Brazilian Grand Prix.